Hi guys, my name is Sandy from Nat and Sandy Yoga, and I'm here today to make a short little video about your fascia and about your glutes. So this is related to our full podcast on myofascial release and fascia, as yoga teachers need to know about fascia. And that episode I'll link up into the comments or the little section below here. And yeah, you can hear all about what we know right now about fascia and how it applies to the yoga practice. So for today, we're going to be talking about the glutes, in specific the glute max, so your major glute muscle there, and how to release it with myofascial release balls. So this really depends on every single person in what kind of texture and what kind of size of balls you need. I just have here these lacrosse balls. However, these are actually not my favorite ones. My favorite ones are the rad roller balls, and those I'll also link up below. And they're just good because they come in like a really good specific texture, so the texture of the ball itself, as well as the compression type. So it's a little bit squishier than lacrosse balls, but not as squishy as a tennis ball. All of these things do work, and again, you might find that you prefer a different texture ball just depending on how your body works and the individual variances of your body there. Okay, so let's get started. This one's super duper simple. Before we come down to do the release, I just want you to palpate, so just reach back for your own bum. That's the area we're going into. And just feel for this triangular bone of your sacrum. You might think about like your tailbone is the very bottom of the sacrum, and then if you come on up a little bit, it sort of broadens and widens into this triangle. Of course, depending on individual variances, it might be more square-y or rectangular-y. But I just want you to feel for the edge of that bone, and when you like sort of fall off that bone, you can come into like that squishy muscle bit, yeah? So you're gonna go pretty close to the bone, so you're not gonna be on the bone itself, but with the ball, you're gonna get pretty close to the bone, and then you're just gonna run along that edge of where the bone and the muscle sort of meet there. And the myofascial release ball is just gonna sort of run along that edge. So this is gonna be done on the back. Your feet will be down, and then with the ball, one in either hand, just lift your hips up and feel for that line of bone again, and then where the muscle sort of falls off of it, and then you just set the balls down. And that's where your glute max attaches to the sacrum. Now, from here, just take a moment and let your body weight rest into the balls. You can take a few breaths. You can relax fully your neck and your shoulders. They're not really doing anything here. And then for a little bit of movement, you can give it a few more moments if you'd like. All we're going to do is just wag the tailbone a little bit side to side. So as you do that, you'll feel the balls gently move sort of side to side along your glutes, and maybe one ball will go closer to the bone as the other moves away from it. So just keep it small enough that, again, you're not on the bone and you're not going to like sort of roll on it. So not really a point in doing that. But just seeing if you can just sort of like release the tissues that surround. Now this movement does tend, especially for me, it tends to like move the balls around. So you might have to reposition them once in a while, and that's totally okay. Just go ahead and do that. Now, if you want to get a little bit more on one side, so I'm going to do my right leg. I'm just going to gently lift the foot off the ground and place the ankle over top of the opposite knee. And then maybe even just shift a little bit of the weight over into the right side. So my left side ball is still there, but I'm just like focusing a little bit more on the right side. And then from here, I can start to bring the knee into the chest and then move the knee back away. And just doing this a few times, adding a shearing force through the tissues there, just to give it a little bit of that deeper release. And then when you feel as though there's some change, you can go ahead and do the other side. And feel free to skip this, especially if you have really tight glutes and you feel like this is just way too much and there's like too much stuff happening and you can't be with it all fully. Maybe just stay like a step back where both feet were down and you're not lifting one foot up. And then here's like maybe even the most important part of myofascial release is the release. So coming off the balls, and you can lift your hips, move the balls out of the way, and then just take a moment. So any position that's just comfortable for you, whether the legs are straight or the legs are bent, it's totally up to you. And just taking a few moments here to allow for that hydration effect to come back into the tissues you just worked on, and to allow for the nervous system to settle. And do take a moment there, just resting. And then when you're ready, you can start to bring some movement back in. You can start to come off your back. And rejoin your day. So that's basically it. Myofascial release for the glute max. Thanks for watching. If you want some more information on Nat and Sandy Yoga, I'll send the links below to our full podcast as well as the episode that this video accompanies. We also have another sister video coming up on the rhomboids and the traps, so stay tuned. Thanks, guys.